Buenos días, clase, y bienvenidos a la última lección de este semestre. Feliz fin del semestre. Por fin llegamos ya al fin del semestre. ¿Qué van a hacer ustedes durante las vacaciones del invierno? Del verano, ¿no? Del verano. What are you guys going to do in your summer vacations? Not quite sure what I'll do yet. This year, probably not a lot of traveling, I would guess. Pues vamos a ver un video que se llama Feliz fin de semana, que habla sobre actividades que se puede hacer durante las vacaciones. Pues está en la página 154. Y la primera vez quiero que ustedes se enfocan en paso 1. En paso 1, ¿no? Las preguntas. Durante los fines de semana, los hispanos, ¿qué? Y casi siempre hacen estas actividades con ¿qué? And then we'll watch again and try to do paso 2. Bien, esto voy a tocar. Dame un segundo aquí. I just have to find it. Ahí está.
¿Qué hacen los hispanos los fines de semana? Una de las actividades favoritas es jugar y ver el fútbol. ¿Por qué les gusta tanto el fútbol a los hispanos?
A los hispanos les gusta el fútbol porque es saludable y es divertido.
Porque es un deporte que practicamos en nuestro país.
No es solamente el deporte, es un parte para salir del estrés que tenemos, entonces es salud en otras palabras.
Además de fútbol, a los hispanos les gusta hacer otras cosas los fines de semana.
Los fines de semana me gusta salir con mi novio, pues ir al cine, ir a comer o a visitar a mi familia con él, algo así.
Me gusta mucho bailar, estar entre amigos. Nos gusta mucho la fiesta.
Cuando llueve en la familia muchas veces lo que hacemos es que jugamos diferentes juegos como monopolio o parqués, o con mi hijo mayor le gusta jugar ajedrez. A veces vemos una película en la televisión.
Los sábados por la tarde y voy a fiestas con amigos o a discotecas. Los domingos en la mañana voy a misa con mi papá.
Normalmente el sábado en la mañana mis hijos y mi marido van al club, juegan un rato golf y yo voy un rato a la alberca, me encanta nadar.
Normalmente los sábados por la mañana me gusta pintar y los domingos en la tarde casi siempre salgo a comer con mis padres y a estar con mi familia.
A los hispanos les gusta hacer muchas cosas los fines de semana. Salen con amigos, van al cine, hacen deportes, juegan juegos, comen en restaurantes y casi todo lo que hacen, lo hacen en familia.
Bien, ahí está, clase. Pues, I want you to pause this video right now, and try to do paso 1, and then we'll go through it. Ok, paso 1. Durante los fines de semana, los hispanos juegan al fútbol, van al cine, visitan amigos, van a fiestas, etc. Y casi siempre hacen estas actividades con su familia. Su familia. Muy bien. So I want you guys to go back and watch the video one more time and try to fill in the chart. We see a chart there that says deportes, juegos, entretenimiento y otras cosas, ¿no? So I want you to go back, watch again, and try to fill out as many of these as you can, and we'll be back in a second. Muy bien. So we're back. I actually put the whole recording thing on pause and I reorganized this a little bit so it'll be a little more clear to see. So let's go through. What kind of deportes did they mention in the video? We had football. También golf. Y natación. ¿Qué es natación? Natación tiene que ver con nadar. Nadar, ¿no? Juegos. Monopolio. Parques. Y también ajedrez. Ajedrez. Entretenimiento. Ir al cine, a comer, a fiestas, ver la televisión también. Y otras, ir a misa. Misa es muy importante en la Iglesia Católica. Misa católica. Visitar la familia y también pintar. Muy bien, pues vamos a continuar. Ahí lo tenemos. Pues vamos a ver, Sandy en verano. Esto es Sandy, ¿no? A ver, ¿qué va a hacer ella en verano? Sandy es una niña, es baja y es rubia. Está muy feliz porque ya llegó el verano y está cerca de la piscina. Pues aquí tenemos los verbos ser y estar. ¿Cuál es la diferencia en los usos de ser y estar? And we actually really already went over this a few chapters back, so this is going to be a review just to make sure you're sure on this, no? So ser, Sandy es rubia. So ser is used for características permanentes. Características permanentes, inherent traits of somebody. Mientras ser, this should not be ser, this should be estar. Lo siento. Is used for estados temporales. And so we could almost draw an equal sign there. Sandy equals blonde. Yes, because she is blonde. But Sandy equals feliz? Well, not if she's just feeling feliz at the moment. Maybe she's usually, really sour and bitter, but right now she's feeling feliz. So we wouldn't say being feliz is one of her permanent characteristics. We'd say it's pretty temporary, right? So this is the primary difference between ser and estar, características permanentes y estados temporales. Por ejemplo, ser y estar también en términos de ubicación. Y esto es ubicación. Location, right? Ser and estar can both be used with location, but in different ways. So way back in chapter 1, Sandy es de Nueva York. She is from New York. She'll always be from New York no matter where she goes, right? Sandy está en Carolina del Sur. She is in South Carolina. This is where she's located right now. So the the permanent characteristic is your provenimiento, your where you come from. I don't know how to say that in English right now. And the estado temporal is where you're located right now. Estar y ubicación. Yo estoy en la biblioteca, tú estás muy lejos de la casa. Pero excepción, eventos. La fiesta es en el hotel. So if it's an event, the location of an event is used with ser. Why? I don't have any idea. That's just the way it is, so remember it. So generally, estar is used with location, except for locations of an event. Ser, También con la hora. And we already learned this way back in chapter 1. Son las 2, es mediodía, etc. De práctica. Vamos a practicar en 5.30. 5.30 que está en la página 149. Right now I'm going to flip over to that because I have it all set up in my OneNote. And I want you guys to pause the video, go through this, and then we'll look at it together. You're choosing ser o estar. Muy bien. Nuria, ¿cómo se llama tu amigo? Oscar, Roberto, de la ciudad de Nueva York. So what are we probably saying here? He is from New York City. So this is origin. So we know it's got to be ser. So it's going to be es. Because this is origin, origen, right? And that's the word I was looking for earlier that I couldn't remember. Nuria, ¿es estudiante? So is he a student? So we're going to go with es. And es ser because it has to do with his identidad. So ser you can think of as características permanentes o cosas que ver con la identidad, somebody's identity. And that's probably a better way of thinking of it actually is identity instead of permanent characteristics. Oscar, sí, de esta universidad. Y también, he's also an athlete. You guys think that would be ser or estar? Does that seem like an identity or a temporary thing? It's definitely identity, right? So, es atleta. Le gusta jugar al tenis y al básquetbol, montar en bicicleta, levantar pesas, etc. Pues, ¿cómo? Descríbemelo. So here we all remember cómo está, right? ¿Cómo estás? But is that what we're asking here? Are we asking Oscar, is Nuria asking Oscar, how is he feeling? No, she's asking him because he's responding, bueno, muy amable. He's very nice. She's asking, what is he like as a person? So what is his identity like? So, ¿cómo es? Descríbemelo. And he's going to respond with this because he's describing his identity features, his permanent characteristics, not his emotions. Muy bien. Y guapo, is he handsome? Again, this has to do with identity, es. Sí, and again, es. Guapo y muy divertido. ¿Quieres conocerlo? Sí, por supuesto. ¿Dónde? Ahora. Where is he now? Where is he now? So this is location. So we're going to go ¿Dónde está ahorita? Creo que, so I think he is in the biolab. Again, here is location. Está. Seguro que, y aquí está. And you're asking, why is that está? Because we have this ando here. And you guys remember the present progressive, right? Which is ando, yendo. Ando, yendo. And once we see that, we know we have to have a form of estar up front. Está trabajando ahora porque, because he's an assistant, the professor's assistant. So is this a temporary thing? Is this an identity thing? This is part of his identity, right? So, es asistente del profesor. Nuria, no importa, vamos al laboratorio. Pues ahí está. Vamos a volver. Pues otros usos. Sometimes you're going to see that ser and estar can be used in the same sentence. So, Sandy está aburrida. Sandy es aburrida. Mamá es vieja, mamá está vieja. Yo soy malo, yo estoy malo. Él es rico, el helado está rico. And you're thinking, this doesn't make sense. How can this make sense, right? Well, it does make sense because they mean different things. Just think of it this way. Sandy está aburrida. So here we're talking about a temporary characteristic, right? So she is bored. She is bored right now, right? just temporary. She's bored. Maybe she's at home. She's under quarantine because of coronavirus and she's super bored. You would say está aburrida, right? But instead, if you're saying as a part of her identity, she is boring. So here we're saying Sandy is bored. Here we're saying Sandy is boring, right? So sometimes you have to be really careful using ser or estar because you might insult somebody. So mamá es vieja, permanent characteristic, right? Mamá es vieja. So she is old. My mother is old, right? What if I were to say mi mamá está vieja? What would that mean? Well, as a temporary characteristic, maybe today mom is hobbling around the house because her hip hurts, or maybe she's not looking so hot today. We might say está vieja hoy, right? Ay, mi mamá está vieja. Today she's really, acting a lot older than she is, so she's está vieja. And you can go down in the same thing. So los plátanos son verdes, los plátanos están verdes. Think about that for a second. What would be the difference? So los plátanos son verdes. This is a permanent characteristic. The bananas are green, right? They're green in color. If I were to say the plátanos están verdes, so when bananas are green, that usually means they are unripe. So estar verde means that something is unripe, right? Here, él es rico. He is rich, is in a permanent state. He has lots of money. He's rolling in it. But you can also say el helado está rico, right? Temporary characteristic. It is rich in flavor, or it tastes really good. You could say, for example, if you're eating a meal, you really like, oh, está muy rico, ¿no? And that means that it's very delicious, right? Here, yo soy malo, permanent characteristic, would mean I am bad. I'm a bad person. I'm evil, right? Yo estoy malo, temporary. That might mean that you're sick. Oh, yo estoy muy malo, right? I'm not feeling very well. I'm not feeling well today. So ser and estar can be used in the same context. They just mean different things. They change the meaning of what you're saying. We don't have anything quite like that in English, so be careful with this. So in the workbook, you're ready to do 518 and 519, and I'm actually going to flip over to that. We're going to walk through this a little bit. So 518, you're going to look at number 1, admiro mucho a Mirta, that should probably be Marta, es o está muy honesta. So you're going to ask yourself, is this temporary or is this permanent, right? And 519, you're going to fill in the version of ser or estar, and you're going to give me a reason why. So that is it, guys. That's it for Spanish 101 this semester. I hope you learned a lot, and I would say hasta mañana, but there will be no more lessons after this, so I will say hasta el examen final. Buena suerte.